from Anshe Sfard Bethel Emeth Congregation. It's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Bahalotcha, feeding the devil. If we look in our Parsha, we have one verse that's extremely disturbing. Vayomer Moshe says, Sheish mod elef ragli, ha'am asher anuchi b'kirbo. There are 600,000 foot soldiers. Obviously, about 1 million other people too. God, you say you're going to feed them for 30 days. Meat in the desert for 30 days. How could you possibly do it? If you brought all the fish in the world, if you slaughtered everything, could you possibly feed them? To which God responds, Hayad Hashem tiktzar. Do you think that God's hand is short? Do you think God can't supply all the meat for these people? It seems that Moshe Rabbeinu, teacher of all of Israel, questions God's ability. And God retorts by questioning how Moshe could possibly question his power. This is very disturbing. After all, we always thought that the major sin of Moshe was hitting the rock much later in his career at the end of the 40 years. What's going on here? How come right here in Parshat Bahalotcha, perhaps the second year of the Jewish travels, all of a sudden Moshe says something so outlandish, so out of character? What's going on? Many interpretations have been given. Rashi gives two from the Midrash, and there are others. He says that Rabbi Akiva says, it's Kamashma'o. Look, don't try to explain it away. That's what it says. So he said, well, why does God seem to punish him for the Shimun HaHamorim, for the sin of the hitting of the rock? Well, he says, that was, for number one, that wasn't in public. That was in public, and here, this is a private conversation with Moshe and God. And the second thing is that he waited till later. That really, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. The hitting of the rock was the end of the last straw. This is the main blow that Moshe does to his life. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, Rabbi Akiva's student, says to his Rebbe, Chas v'shalom, God forbid that your interpretation is correct. He says, Lo al daito sholto tzadikach. There's no way that God would think that, but that Moshe would think that. We know b'chol beiti ne'emanu. We know that in all of God's house, in all realms of faith, he's ne'emanu. Moshe is trustworthy. What does he mean? He means that it's ridiculous. You're going to slaughter. You're going to feed them, fatten them up like a cow, and slaughter them. They'll say that you're like a sheikhet who fattens up the cows and then slaughters them. So that's the view, two views in Rashi, two views in the Midrash. There's also a view, the Yosef Ibn Kaspi, very radical Spanish commentator, and he says as follows. He says, He says, this is not a question of not believing in God, God forbid. It's a lack of faith. He has lack of faith in himself. How is he going to do it? How is he going to be able to provide this much meat in the desert? So it's Moshe is not questioning God, he's questioning himself. Rabbi Yosef Bechor Shor, another fascinating commentator, his commentary here on Parshat Bahalotcha, he says as follows. There are 600,000, he says, how can you do it? He says, if you would tell me that you'd bring it from the heavens, fine, but you're telling me that there's something right here? I don't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Where's all this meat that you're going to find? I don't understand what you mean. So he's questioning not God's ability, but where exactly is all this stuff? So Hashem says, you don't understand. It's going to come from heaven. You can't see it. It's not around you. It's coming from somewhere that you couldn't have anticipated. The Tzor Mor, Rabbi Avraham Sibang, the exile from Spain and Portugal, he says as follows. Always has something interesting to say, and it's supported by a midrash. It's found in the Tosefta on Sota. He says as follows. He says, Moshe lo nitra'im al Hashem. Moshe is not questioning God. He be'inyan shelat basari ani yodea shetei yachol le'telem. He says, I know you can give it to him, but Adoni, my master, yesh lecha lahabit in bazeh inyan yavol nezek. This is not going to be good for me. This is not going to turn out well. I'm living with these people. I'm their leader. Every minute they're going to come and ask me. They'll ask for basar, they'll ask for cheap meat. And now that you give them, if you fulfill their desire, you know what's going to happen? Every time they want something, they're going to come and ask for it from me. And one day they're going to stone me for it. So I'd rather that you just not give it to them at all. So that's what the Tzor Hamor says. This idea perhaps has its roots in a Tosefta in Sota, where Rabbi Gamliel, the son of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, says as follows. He says, you can't get involved with these people and their crazy requests, their tifla, their foolishness. Im titen lahem basar behema gasa. If you give them meat from a real cow, real red meat, yomru basar behema daka. They'll say, no, we didn't want red meat. We wanted lamb chops. Im titen basar daka, yomru basar chayav ofanam bakshim. If you give them something from a cow, from a sheep, they'll say, no, we don't want sheep. We want wild animals. We want venison. We want doves. Then they'll say they want fish. Whatever you give them, there's nothing you can give them. And so this is the idea of Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi. What's the idea? It's the idea of the Tzor Hamor as well. And the idea is that sometimes we think we can satisfy our passions. We'll give in a little bit to the devil. We'll feed the devil just a little bit give in to the Yetzer Hara, evil inclination. The Torah is telling us that if you take this approach, that, well, you have this evil desire, you'll feed it a little bit. It doesn't always work. Sometimes it backfires. Sometimes you need to just say, no, I'm not going to do this, and I'm not even going to go into that direction. That direction will take me a slippery slope. That direction is not good for me. What the Torah is telling us is that we have to be careful that when children ask for things, sometimes we say, well, what would be so bad? Even though it's not right, they really shouldn't ask for it. They really shouldn't say this. They really shouldn't talk this way. But I'll just give it to them this time. Sometimes we need to put our foot down and say, this is not appropriate. This is not an appropriate question. And sometimes we need to realize that if we give in to A, then comes B and C and D, and eventually can be very bad things. The idea of this parsha, the idea of this particular story, this very troubling words of Moshe, could be very simply that Moshe says to God, I understand you want to satisfy the people, you want to answer their prayers, but guess what? It may not be so good to feed the devil, to feed the evil inclination within them, to feed their lustful desires. When we feed lust, we feed desires, we lead ourselves in the wrong direction. Let's hope that we can learn not to be like these people who are mitavi, utavu tava, they just keep desiring more and more desires. We can focus on things that we really need for our soul, things we really should be desiring, like being closer with God, closer with others, closer with our families. It should be our greatest and most chief desire. Thank you for joining us here at the Anshe Sfar Beth Elameth here in Memphis, Tennessee. And join us each week for our discussion of the Parsha or various holidays. Thanks for Jason Lefkowitz for his technical support today and always. And thank you for joining us. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein. To learn more, visit asb.org.